to cover all of this news that I've been chomping at the bit last night, this morning, and today to cover here. We've got Syrian girl, who, by the way, with her family was ousted by the Assad regime decades ago. It's now on record that she is in Australia. She's been on national television over there in debate, so we can tell you where she's coming from. And she is who she says she is. And she, a year ago, came out and laid out what was really going to happen. 21 months into this, our so-called government, banker-run, is launching Al-Queda attacks. And there's U.S. aircraft carriers, British ships, you name it, French. The Germans have announced that they are massing troops. German cabinet decides to send troops to Turkey-Syria border. It's on, folks. An incredible Western-started proxy war using Al-Qaeda to destabilize the country. And they're getting ready to invade, and the U.S. and Russians have been meeting, because there are Russian Spetsnaz on record there fighting U.S. and British and other Arab special forces backed by Al-Qaeda in proxy battles. This is amazing. You know, 2012 is coming up, the end of the world, 21st, and I've always said it's pure bull, but there's a lot of analysts saying this could spark a nuclear war. Kind of like South Ossetia, Abkhazia, Georgia situation back in 2008 on 888. So, I mean, this is crazy. And it looks like the Russians may back down and pull out. And if that happens, Assad is going to run. And if they're going to hand the country over to Al-Qaeda, they're going to kill all the Christians. And it will not be on the news. Or it'll be the back of the paper like, oh, too bad. They're murdering the Alawite Muslim minority and the Christians. Oh, and the Jews that were there for 3,000 years in Damascus, they're being killed too. And that's what's going on. I mean, it is so crazy. But the general public can't find their state capital, doesn't know the three branches of government. Most high school seniors don't know who the first president was. You know, they do those national polls every year. So when you're dealing with drooling idiots, the government runs Al-Qaeda to take over the country, slaughter people. It's so immoral. And again, Syrian girl, her family was run out of there by Assad's daddy. She hates him. She's a Sunni. Assad's are the minority Alawites. Oh, it's so unbelievable. But I liken it to being blind. You know, if you're visually impaired, you can't see something. And if you can see, you're going, look, I'm telling you that there's a blue sky right there. Well, I've been blind my whole life. I don't know what a blue sky looks like. Describe it to me, Alex. And it's the same thing with the general public, except I'm going, hey, this is going on here. It's all admitted. Oh, conspiracy theory. Because thinking and being involved and being informed, that's a conspiracy theory. In fact, now a lot of people think it's weird to be able to talk proficiently and have a big vocabulary. They think you're showing off when you use varied semantical combinations to try to describe the true tenor and palette of a development. They think that's showing off. They don't understand that the reality is so multifaceted, multivariate, that even the greatest verbal prose cannot describe the incredible 5-sense, three-dimensional interface that takes us to the heights of wisdom. Recently, the Harvard School of Health looked at more than a dozen scientific studies concerning fluoride and confirmed what countless other scientists have been documenting for decades. Sodium fluoride in the body reduces IQ and increases cancers. You see, the aluminum industry and the fertilizer industries would have to pay to store all the toxic waste they produce. But instead, they get our counties and cities to pay to put the poison in our water. It's not just fluoride we're getting, but lead, mercury, arsenic, the list goes on. And a lot of this toxic waste comes from China. Unfortunately, fluoride and its derivatives are only one of hundreds of toxins being added to our drinking water. We're battling the globalist on so many fronts. Health is an area where we can all take control of our lives, and it all starts with that basic building block of water. It is time to purify our family's water. The ProPure filtration system with added fluoride filters is the best system from my research to protect you and your family. InfoWarsStore.com already has the lowest prices on ProPure water filtration. But until December 10th, we are going to offer 15% off the already lowest price. I know what I'm giving my family this Christmas. ProPure. Go to InfoWarsStore.com and get 15% off the already lowest price out there with the code WATER15. WATER15, and you get 15% off at InfoWarsStore.com. It is Friday, the 7th day of December, 2012. Thank you so much for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, as we broadcast worldwide, reaching a combined audience every day of 3 million people or more. I am blessed to be here and honored. Okay, Lord Monckton from the big UN conference, thrown out, got the internal documents as usual. You cannot hype up how big it was 3 years ago when he got the Copenhagen document, which was confirmed a week later to be accurate, and destroyed the global convention that was going to set up the carbon tax. It was a Star Wars Episode 4 Death Star destruction event. And I actually went down to get champagne and popped it on air when all that happened. People are like, why are you getting so excited? I said, watch. And that was the turning of the tide. We are routing them now, but they don't care. We're routing them intellectually and in the process worldwide, and they now admit that. But they don't care. They're still in charge. They're rolling forward. But now it's clearly dictatorial. Congress didn't pass the carbon tax. They didn't get what they wanted. Now they're having to do it with executive fiat worldwide. So Monckton's got more incredibly important data. He'll be breaking with us coming up, joining us from the Global UN Conference. That is in the second hour today. Amazing information coming up with Lord Monckton. Former Thatcher advisor Lord Monckton, evicted from UN Climate Summit after challenging global warming, escorted from the hall, and security officers stripped him of his UN credentials. And this is, he is again at the UN conference in Qatar. We are going to be breaking that down. UN Summit, transforming your kids into climate change agents, how they're going to try to push the new carbon tax program. He's been ferreting out those documents. They literally, I've seen video of it, they've had police assault him from behind before. They just absolutely hate his guts. They wouldn't let him into the one in South Africa, so he parachuted in. In fact, that was Durban, South Africa, 6 months ago. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. He's going to be joining us coming up. And we've got Syrian Girl. She's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Report, NATO military intervention in Syria imminent. It looks like Russia's starting to blink. Special forces mass in preparation for final assault. German cabinet decides to send troops to Turkey-Syria border. And I guess the Germans were allies with the Turks back in World War I, so it is on. It is on, and looks like Assad may flee because they are preparing after 21 months for the physical invasion to install Al-Queda in control of Syria and slaughter all Christians, all minority Muslims, and Jews. And it's ongoing, just cutting their heads off, throwing them off roofs. Tens of thousands of missiles given to Al-Queda. They swear to use them against the United States. And, of course, the globalists love that because they'll take all of our rights when they shoot down the aircraft. And currently, unless we expose this, I am predicting that there's a very good chance they're going to start shooting down European and U.S. aircraft. And the media, the prostitute media, will not even point out when this happens that, hey, wait a minute, our government gave them the missiles. That's why they killed the ambassador. They just had a big cash they gave to the Turks. Turkish ambassador left, and they go, all right, send in Al-Qaeda, wipe out those special forces, and the ambassador that just transferred the missiles. No, they're just getting rid of him. And, of course, the troops, the Al-Qaeda, they send Al-Qaeda in just under orders to kill him. That was the Al-Qaeda they sent in was the head of security in Benghazi. It's all on record. They just got rid of, the bag man. It's what you do. It's how you handle it. So NATO edging towards Syria intervention, Russia says. That is out right now, being reported by Al Jazeera and others. So it's on. Edging towards intervention? Like, oh, it's been going on. It's too sad. Yes, Assad. I think I heard him on Fox News Radio this morning going, well, the activists say Assad's attacking them again, implying they're not like Al-Queda with rocket launchers backed up by U.S. Special Forces, just blowing up airports, attacking airports, blowing up infrastructure, TV stations, power plants, shutting down their cell phone systems, and then saying Assad's doing it. I mean, it is house-to-house, absolute war. Turkey firing in with their huge howitzers across the border, opening up Al-Queda injection ports. Russia says NATO Patriot move is step in involvement in Syria, moving Patriot missiles in. Yeah, it's all crazy. And saying we've got to attack or they've got chemical weapons. That's coming up. I'm surprised I don't have Colin Powell go show some people some anthrax and say, look at these mobile trucks we found for making anthrax. They could go to Jane's Weapons Quarterly, and they knew it was 1970s because the U.S. paid for it. British hydrogen balloon trucks to put hydrogen balloons up with video cameras on them. Saddam also bought U.S. systems for the Iran-Iraq war. You send them up to 10,000 feet on a cable with video cameras, and then that directs artillery in the Iran-Iraq war. They sold it to them. It's hydrogen trucks, balloon trucks. They used them on the border here, and they told you it was an anthrax machine. Yeah. Day one, we went and looked at it, in Jane's Weapons Quarterly. Anybody can do it. And guess what? There they were. By the way, we were some of the first to break that. It broke kind of simultaneously. Okay, wow. Let me just run through the headlines here that I will cover in detail in the third hour. Let's just start here, of all the things. Cat parasite toxoplasma uses Trojan horse to infect human brain and may cause suicidal thoughts and risk-taking. They've known this for thousands of years. That's where that's London Independent. The media is always reporting something that's actually well-known, like, we discovered the Atlantic Ocean is salty. But that was the old thing of witches having cats, and cats being unlucky was because you would get the parasite, which was rampant at that time because they didn't have, veterinary clinics. But then they killed all the cats, seeing them as bad luck, and then the rats went crazy with the fleas, with the bubonic plague, and, well, you know what happened. The rest is history. So I'm not saying cats, or I'm not saying I believe in the wives' tale. The point is, cats are cute, cats are nice. I don't like them because they carry the parasite, and I've always known that. I mean, it's well known, folks, that a lot of the depression and mental illness and the massive skyrocketing of schizophrenia in this country is heavy metal toxification. Mad as a Hatter, people that worked in the clothiers back in England, staining things with different colors, full of lead, mercury and stuff, mad as a Hatter, schizophrenia. Massive birth defects. They would just say, oh, you're mentally ill. You have bad gene pool. No, you're toxic. But the other big one in the studies, and there's a new study out now, just came out yesterday, is this little parasite amoeba type thing in your brain that knows how to program your brain. Okay, so a little microorganism can do that. By the way, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is studying this and a bunch of others. You know why? Because they can use it as another Trojan once it takes over, and then they can have a program on the Trojan. This is called nanotech. And this is the new wave, the new vaccines where you're never upset again, never want to drink again, never want to smoke cigarettes again, never want to use drugs again, because it goes in and reprograms your brain. Oh, yeah, they've had that for about 15 years. By the way, there's clear evidence it's already being used on the population. Go get your flu shot. You wonder why people are becoming total zombies? Because, folks, well, we actually had a top scientist on who found that a year before the flu outbreak 3 years ago that they hyped so much, the H1N1, that they were putting out carrier tracker viruses that didn't give you the flu but changed brain chemistry. Folks, we're being hit right now. We're entering total fantasy land, okay? I mean, this is Buck Rogers, okay? But it's crazy. Hundreds of thousands of genetically modified mosquitoes set to be released in Florida Keys in an experiment to fight dengue fever. And I had the head of the company on a few months ago about this, and they admit, guess what? Mosquitoes, Bill Gates has talked about this, are perfect to force you to take vaccines, they've said, so you can't escape it. Because the mosquito, you know how a mosquito gets your blood, right? They don't just slurp up your blood, but the platelets, it would clog their proboscis. they inject their saliva, a powerful acid, to liquefy the cells before slurping. That's why mosquitoes are perfect to carry bioweapons. But that's not what this company's doing, they say. They say they just want to, have these mosquitoes breed out to other mosquitoes. But there you have it. I thought I'd mention that for you. Costa Rica now battling Monsanto over GMO corn. They're trying to force that into the country, even though it's illegal. FDA quietly increases allowed radiation doses of meats for human consumption. Natural News is reporting, because the radiation level's going up from Fukushima here. The winds blow right into the U.S. from Japan. That's why they firebombed us with those balloons. Hundreds of them that they'd send over with explosives timed in the trade wind to drop in the Midwest and blow up. But the fire departments just were on the lookout for them with spotters and were able to deal with the problem. Speaking of that, today is the Pearl Harbor anniversary. The Pearl Harbor anniversary is today, December 7th, 1941, and we're going to be getting into how that whole event was staged. Hard to believe, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know how many years ago it was? 71 years ago. Wow. Sometimes you see a World War II vet, better take a look at them, because there's not going to be any of them soon. All the guys, I went on a cruise once, and it was a guy who enlisted when he was 14. It was like 5 years ago. Really interesting. He was going scuba diving, and he was 80-something years old. Just you could tell that guy, you didn't want to mess with him back when he was in his prime. He was there with his wife, like 20 years younger than him, and he wasn't saying, hey, I'm a World War II vet. I was talking to him, and he was he'd enlisted when he was like 14 and a half, got it, and had been in the whole Pacific theater. And he was talking about how the little boat they had taking us out to the reef was kind of the same kind of boats they used for landings. Interesting. We will, most of the vets that are still alive from World War II, they're guys that got in early. We ought to do a show on Audie Murphy sometime.
As Skynet continues to rise, most Americans have no idea the arsenal their own government is prepared to use against them. Walking weapons and unmanned drones that will find their way to U.S. soil if they haven't already. But the future is not written in stone. Join Infowars for the first ever drone mob December 8th at Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. This family-friendly event is to inform the public of the weapons that target us. Bring your own drones and spy planes as we make the statement that we don't want our weapons turned against us. Be there at 11 a.m. There will be some amazing giveaways and even a video contest. So bring your camera, because whoever films the best drone video at the event and posts it up on YouTube will receive 1,000 Federal Reserve notes. And be sure to use the hashtag DroneMob on Twitter and visit Infowars.com for more details.
You see, the Republican Party is bought and paid for by Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and the big global crime syndicates. The groups that publicly run the giant money laundering operations, hundreds of billions a year. Wells Fargo gets caught, nobody gets in trouble, continues it, along with Wachovia. They're the people that create the derivatives and have the government sign on to it. So they want us up at 80% taxes like France. They've said that's the model. They're all exempt offshore. They don't pay taxes or almost no taxes. And that's all on record. Even when they get government bailouts, they don't pay taxes. You pay taxes, just like Howard Dean said, and we've got that clip coming up, that, not just the rich people, everybody needs to pay more taxes. And I told you this would happen. You see, they have the Republicans come out and go, we're only for $990 billion in new taxes, not $1.6 billion, Obama, a year. And we're only for retroactive for this tax back 1 year, not 3. Oh, they're talking about that. And they're talking about getting rid of the deduction on your mortgage. I mean, that's another $600 billion. And it's all in the Washington Post on Monday. Republicans make their fiscal cliff counteroffer, which if a Democrat was calling for it, Republicans would go jump off a cliff. Now that's, quote, the loyal opposition. Then Obama basically calls for triple that and dozens of new taxes on top of the 3.8 healthcare tax on all major investments. I mean, it goes on and on. And the general moron public, especially Obama supporters, folks, as soon as Obamacare goes in, they're going to say that the unemployment problem has been fixed because they're going to count people that get cut to 20 hours a week part-time so they don't have to, employers don't have to pay for the Obamacare that'll bankrupt them. they'll just count people getting 2 or 3 jobs as new people getting total jobs. And it's just incredible what this is going to do to the poorest Americans. And they're so dumbed down that they actually think Obama works for them and wanted to give them some rich guy's money. The rich guys run Obama, you idiots. That's why they're rich. They're inside scammers. And they want to shut down productive middle class that actually hire people and actually go to nice restaurants and actually get their hair done and actually buy clothes and cars. They say they want to get rid of that old economy. They call that wasteful. It's a post-industrial world, you stupid, dumb, moron Obama supporters. They're going to shut the economy off. You think 50 million people on food stamps from 25 million is a problem? They say they're going to double it again. They're going to break this country. And here it is. Republicans wave the white flag. This came out last night. And they're saying, okay, we'll just go ahead and have an orderly surrender. He's hoping to lead his fractious GOP to an orderly surrender, and they may go ahead and vote to just give Obama control over the power of the purse on the debt limit, and the dictatorship is pretty much complete. I mean, wow. Because the bankers want that, folks. The bankers want to break this country and tax the middle class out of existence. Look at this. This is an economic collapse blog. Michael Schneider reported Infowars.com. He says, show this to anyone that believes taxes are too low. And he goes down just some of the taxes. Building permit taxes, capital gains taxes, cigarette taxes, court fines, dog licensing taxes, driver's license fees, federal unemployment taxes, fishing licenses, food license taxes, gasoline taxes, gift taxes, hunting taxes, inheritance taxes, inventory taxes, not to mention all the stuff passed on what you buy, IRS interest charges, IRS penalties, liquor taxes, luxury taxes, hotel taxes, you name it, travel taxes, marriage license taxes, Medicare taxes, Medicare tax surcharge, Obamacare individual mandate excise tax, Obama surtax on investment income 3.8, property taxes, recreational vehicle taxes, toll booth taxes, I should add hospital district taxes, franchise state taxes, sales taxes, self-employment taxes, school taxes, septic permit taxes, service charge taxes, Social Security taxes, state unemployment taxes, tanning taxes, telephone, federal excise taxes, topless bar taxes, I'm adding that one, telephone, federal universal service fee taxes, telephone minimum usage surcharge taxes, telephone state and local taxes, tire taxes, toll taxes, traffic fines, utility taxes, vehicle registration taxes, worker compensation taxes, computer manufacturing taxes. This doesn't even, it just goes on and on for page after page. I couldn't even get into a third of it. Okay, we'll be back with our government running Al-Queda, blowing up another country, throwing Christians off high rises. Slitting their throats, blowing up churches.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Have you ever wanted to generate your own supply of electrical power, even save money on your electric bill? If so, this could be one of the most important messages you will ever hear. Solar-powered generators are now available. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical power. Unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly, emits no fumes, and produces electricity from the sun. It's It's like having an electrical power plant running quietly in your own home. Run sump pumps, shortwave radios, computers, and even keep your food from spoiling. Whether it's hurricanes, ice storms, brownouts, or blackouts, you'll never suffer through painful power outages again. And here's the best news. A remarkable fall truckload sale is going on right now that gets you $1,700 in bonuses when you buy a solar generator. To find out why these solar generators are the best generators and get $1,700 in bonuses for doing so, go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com. Generate your own supply of electricity. Go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com.
Now that we have moved into the winter season, there is an increased need to support our immunity and health. At Silver Lungs, we are committed to meeting your needs by providing a full selection of silver-based products. Our most popular silver-based products are the 32-ounce Nano Silver Solutions, our 2-ounce Nano Silver Nasal Applicators, as well as our all-natural silver soaps. Just released is our 100% natural silver gel. Our new silver gel is not based on synthetic gelling agents, which quickly evaporate and leave the silver at the surface. But rather, we have formulated our silver gel using the natural skin-nourishing chemistry of aloe vera to quickly penetrate and nourish the skin, while delivering the silver more effectively. Visit www.silverlungs.com and click on our store page to find what silver-based products are best for you. That's www.silverlungs.com.
We've got it. The transmission is coming to you.
Waging war on corruption.
All right, you are go.
It's Alex Jones, coming to you live from the front lines of the Infowar.
Lord Christopher Monckton, he is going to be joining us from Qatar, where he got thrown out of the UN conference with some breaking intel coming up in the next hour today. In the third hour, we're going to have the premiere of my son on radio and TV. You've heard him a few times, but this time you'll see him if you're watching at prisonplanet.tv. He exposes terrorism 101 and how it's staged. It's pretty powerful. It's about 3 minutes long. That is coming up today. Also, David Ortiz did a report on the fact that they're talking about now having Black Friday in and around Christmas. More of this insanity, more of this con artistry. So he's got a man on the street on that. And then Joe Rogan, my old friend, the full video, I don't know, like 50 minutes long, is up at prisonplanet.tv right now. It's also up at Infowars.com and prisonplanet.com if you want to see that. Best interview I've ever done with Joe. And we're going to be airing some excerpts on that, his take on Pat Tillman, and a lot more coming up in the third hour today as well. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central in Zilker Park, in the big part of the park by the river, because it goes over, across towards Barton Springs. But in the big soccer field area, our own Melissa Melton, Jakari Jackson, David Knight, Rob Dew, I think David's going to be there. David Ortiz is going to be there as well. A bunch of folks. I may show up, okay? It's just that I like meeting people once I get out there and do it. I just work 7 days a week, and I want to be with my children. But I'm going to be there, but maybe watching from a hilltop, okay? So I'll run up and say hi to folks, but I'm not going to be the center of attention at it. I really want to just get my reporters out there doing events. Yes, I will make an appearance sometime during the 11 to 1 or so when it's going on out there. And again, this is about you coming out with your drone mob to protest the drones. It is a drone protest, and I know a lot of media is going to be out there, local TV and stuff. And so bring your aircraft, you name it, helicopters, professional drones, you name it, as long as they don't fly above 400 feet. If the cops try to say you can't fly RC aircraft out there, that's not true. And that's what all these new drones are. The Switchblades, the rest of it, it's just small drones. And below 400 feet, there's no regulations. The police go out there and do it. People do it all the time. So that'll be a whole other media issue if they try to say something. It'll be outside of law as usual. So come on out and be part of it. Kicks off around 11 a.m. tomorrow, and it'll run through about 1 p.m. The drone mob tomorrow, Zilker Park, Austin, Texas, press release up at Infowars.com, and we'll retweet it at the Real Alex Jones on Twitter. And the hashtag is drone mob, And you can also find it over at Prison Planet on Twitter, at Prison Planet. Okay, there you go. Look forward to seeing everybody out there. And speaking of drone news, video, a black helicopter goes autonomous. This is out of Popular Science. And now they are going to make the Blackhawks robot. Don't need humans anymore. And the passenger jets are going to be robot. Told you that. England's now moving to that last week. And the cars, now most states are passing laws to allow robot cars. And they're already saying, as I predicted, because I know how they operate, that they are going to say that robot cars are safer and then make robots drive you. So the total takeover of our society is here. And also, we broke this in 2006 because Google put out a press release. And it was so incredible. It's kind of like earlier this year when the big journal of bioethics, the big prestigious one, published a report saying kill children up to age 3, even if they're healthy. The state or parents should be able to kill children. And that's actually what they're moving towards. The death panels. If a kid's not wanted, just kill them, use them for body parts. Go ahead and gut them. They talk, there's a lot of money can be made out of gutting them, up to 500 grand on baby parts. A lot of rich people will pay to get those parts for their kids. So it's they don't want to just butcher hogs and pigs and stuff. Cows, chickens. I mean, New World Order wants to render up some humans. Cloud Atlas, go all the way. So that's the plan. And we are human resources, as they call us in our face, which is stupid to know what that means. And anyways, people didn't believe it for about 4 days. And then people actually went and read the journal and said, oh, it's real. It became national news, international news. It's kind of like when we got Homeland Security and MIAC reports saying gun owners are terrorists and we're going to be hunted down and veterans are the #1 terrorist. And people didn't believe that. Ron Paul's office said, well, they got called and they said, well, that can't be. About 5 days later, though, they actually went and found out it was real and the FBI admitted it was real. And then the governor, had to come out and say, well, actually, I support this. One of the states where they'd issued the federal report there in Missouri. So, when I'm telling you all this, I'm sorry that truth is stranger than fiction. But this is what's going on. And the globalists brag that Bill Joy in 2000 in the April issue of Wired magazine, Why the Future Doesn't Need Us, multi-billionaire, Sun Microsystems owner, founder. He said, I went to the globalist meeting. We said, do we let everybody just party and have fun, or do we kill everybody? Because we don't need you anymore. I mean, you've always been cheap, but now you're we want the world for ourselves. And he said, I kind of think we shouldn't get rid of everybody. By the way, let's try one more time to get Bill Joy on the show. I've talked about him so much, I guarantee you he at least knows who we are. The other founder of it was on PBS one time I saw him, and he said, I look forward to everybody having microchips in them. So, folks, this isn't a game, okay? This isn't a game, and the discussion's being made, and the decision's been made to go ahead and kill everybody, but they've got to poison us slowly to the point of everybody's so drugged that they don't notice half the public's got cancer, or people can't talk anymore, or people can't focus, and then it's just the government will find why this is happening, but never does, and we all just get used to it. We're just slowly being trained, and all these movies are coming out about the end of humanity and how beautiful it's going to be. And they've come and told a lot of the elitists, the Brad Pitt types and Angelina Jolie, join us or you're not going to be part of the club. So they're out there trying to help everybody get ready for this. And, I just think it's really, really horrible, but I'm an extremist. You know how I am. I actually read the White House Science Czar's, books. He's written all 4 of them, weird, and do reports on it, show you where he says they're going to put stuff in the water to sterilize you. And that was 35 years ago, which they've been doing. That kind of upsets me a little bit sometimes. So that's all coming up. Alex Jones here with some very important breaking news. The latest edition of Infowars magazine, December 2012, is out. And no, we don't really cover people that think that the world is going to end on December 21st. We are predicting the world will not end. But we are predicting that the end of our free republic may take place if people don't wake up and get aggressive and angry and speak out against what's happening. This man wants your guns. That is the cover of the 60-page glossy magazine, jam-packed with information and the truth. And you know what they say, the truth will set you free. You can buy the magazine at cost in bulk in groups of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right up to 100 to give everyone you know. And believe me, people will open this up. It is full of unbelievably powerful graphics, cartoons. We've got artist profiles on patriots out there that are exposing the globalists, and it's got several articles breaking down the facts that Obama and his globalist controllers want to disarm the American people and are going to try to ban all semi-autos. The facts are in this magazine, and this is the most important of the 4 issues we have ever put out. And when you do sign up for the subscription, you don't just get 12 in the mail. When supplies last of the previous issues, we will put back issues like the November issue, Zombies, Are You a Zombie? Breaking down how television has put the general public into a trance-like state. You will get that when you sign up for the next 12 issues in December of 2012. Now, you're out there watching saying, Alex, we know all about the New World Order, and yes, the magazine's a great thing, but why should we support it? Well, you're also supporting free speech and print 2.0. With the internet kill switches coming in and all the rest of this, it's important to have physical copies that are out there, just like the founders did in the 10 years leading up to the Revolutionary War in 1776. They put out their little primitive broadsheets printed on both sides, pointing out the crimes of the crown, and that helped organize and awake the public to finally win the physical victory when war and conflict unfortunately came. My goal is to expose the globalist and to win the info war so it doesn't become a physical war. We've seen Hillary Clinton saying that they're winning the info war. Top globalist Zbigniew Brzezinski says that nationalism is growing and that people are waking up against outside forces because of populism and alternative media. This particular issue of the magazine is the one to give friends and family. It's the one to put under the tree or in the stocking. It's the one to leave at church. It's the one to leave at the dentist office. This is the one, the December issue of Infowars magazine with Ron Paul, the attack on the Second Amendment, the police state, the GMO takeover. It's all there and all available at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Get your subscription or buy the magazines in bulk today. I'm Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. Until next time, remember, if you're watching this, if you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.